A title: Working with Victims Ages 50 to 62 Years Old.
Are there particular barriers to services faced by people falling within the 50 to 62 age group?
Ann Turner, Elder Victim Services and Advocacy Coordinator, NCALL, End Domestic Abuse, Wisconsin.
One of the things we realized in doing this work when we talked to domestic violence programs is that victims 50 and over just were not reaching out for help. And talking to survivors, what we often heard is they really did not feel like those services were for them. So we really started to take a look at that population and the special needs. We know that between 50 and 62, often your adult children are grown, or your children are adults, or out of the home, and so you no longer qualify for the kind of services that might be available for families with dependent children. You're not yet old enough for services that would be geared for the aging population. So there is that limited resources and limited options that are available for that population.
Alice Ghareib, Director, Doves Program, Area Agency on Aging, Region 1, Arizona.
That actually is the most challenging segment to work with. From 50 to 62, they are too young for senior services. They most often don't have children under the age of 18, so public benefits programs that other victims of domestic violence are eligible for, they're not. For example, senior housing, that's just one thing that comes to mind. You have to be 62 and older to get that subsidized housing. In order to get cash benefits, you have to have children under the age of 18. And so this population is truly at a loss in accessing resources for them.
LaTrice Hogan, Consultant, formerly Director, Milwaukee Women's Center.
I call it the gray area, and in the sense from around age 50 to about maybe 62, where services are not the same as they are for younger victims. There are not a lot of services for this population because many of them are transitioning. They're not accessible to certain types of Social Security. They're not accessible to a lot of benefits, and most often because they're still younger, they're still at that employment age, yet they're having issues or barriers that are causing them not to be really employable at the time due to life and life situations. People are being financially abused, sexually abused. There's neglect that's occurring. Oftentimes there's emotional abuse, psychological abuse, and individuals are just trying to find a way to live in a place where it's darkness and trying to find their way when individuals at this point in their time feel like they should know the way.
Logos appear. NCALL, www.ncall.us. Terra Nova Films, terranova.org. Funded by the U.S. Department of Justice, Office on Violence Against Women and Elder Justice Initiative. www.justice.gov/elderjustice. A disclaimer. This project was supported by grant number 2014 AXTA K050, awarded by the Office on Violence Against Women and by the Elder Justice Initiative, U.S. Department of Justice. The opinions, findings, conclusions, and recommendations expressed in this program are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Department of Justice, Office on Violence Against Women, or the Elder Justice Initiative.